welcome to our Godllywood moment. Today we have an additional moment of our series of this month talking about hallowing the name of God. And I'm going to be speaking to you about how do we hallow the name of God in our workplace. If you think about it, a workplace is a place that we have a lot of things going on. We meet different kinds of characters, behaviors, and in that we need to know as women of God, how do we navigate ourselves through those behaviors, through those characters, and even the challenges and the expectations that we have in our workplaces. We have to always remember that when we are there, we are of God, and we cannot just, fit in, if I may say, or get blended with everybody else, so much that when we are there, there is no difference between us and those who are not of God. The way that we make decisions, the way that we make our choices, the way that we do things, it doesn't show the difference of us being of God and other people being different from us. And if we think about it as well, is that when we are in the workplace, it's a place that we don't always have the time to evangelize someone, to talk to someone about God. Yes, on certain circumstances when maybe you're on your lunchtime, or maybe when you know somebody close to you that they have time, they want to talk to you, we can be able. But in the majority that are there is no chance to spread the word of God there. You can do as much. But more than that, when we are in our workplace, people know us. People know who we are. People know that how do we define ourselves. They know that we are Christians. And that we cannot take away from them. That they see every day. We might not be able to talk about God with them every day, but they have an opportunity to see our character every single day. So that character that they see every single day, what kind of character is it? Is it a character that pleases God? Is it a character that shows that you are a woman of God? Is it a character that glorifies the name of God? Or it's a character that people have to keep waiting a minute and saying, but she said she's a Christian. But she said she's a woman of God. How can she behave like this? Of course, there are situations and circumstances that you can't avoid when you have to do what you have to do. But in general, our character, our behavior has to reflect the name of God. So I'm going to talk to you about two different kinds of characters that we can be in the workplace. We can be, in one way, laid back. That kind of a person that you are too busy to care. You are there, you do what you have to do, you go to work. You're not necessarily like a bad person, you're not necessarily a bad employee, but you are just there. Whether you are there or not, it's not everyone that notices or misses your presence, not because you need to be that kind of person that wants to be seen or things like that. But you maybe the way that you do it, you do things, you come, you do what you have to do, then you walk away, you come, I have to be there, 8 o'clock in the morning, you are there, you sit down in your desk, you do what you have to do. Lunchtime, you go for your lunchtime, you come back. In the evening, when it's time to knock off, you knock off. There is nothing extra that you do. There is nothing, that adds in your workplace. And as women of God, we cannot be like that. And maybe on top of that as well, you also have the mistake of also, in addition to not really giving your best at your workplace, you end up finding yourself with groups, with friends, gossiping at lunchtime, saying things that you're not supposed to do about your boss, complaining about this and that. Like now, we were just in this month now, last week now, we were surrendering our fast of Zechariah. And maybe you're that kind of employee that you're not really giving your best. You're not really dedicated. You're not really giving your everything in that workplace. But even then, you like to complain. You like to complain about the boss. You like to complain about your supervisor. You like to complain that they are this, they are that, because you don't want to give your best. You don't want to give the best that is expected out of you. And because you don't want to give your best, then you have people maybe pushing you a little bit here and there, demanding things here and there on you. Then you feel like, why are these people like this? Because you are not doing what you're supposed to do. So sometimes we have to before we look and then we are like, hi, why my boss is like this person is like that, we have to ask ourselves, are we really giving the best of ourselves as we are expected? Because the word of God says that whatever we do, we have to do it with all of our heart, with all of our strength, in excellence as well. So as a woman of God, are you doing things in excellence in your workplace? Or you find yourself, you arrive, as I said, that time of the workplace, and then time and again you are on your social medias, you forget what you are supposed to do, you submit things late, and you are like, my God, but why am I not being honored in my workplace? Why nobody recognizes me? But you forget that the word of God, it doesn't encourage us to do things anyhow in our workplace. It encourages us to do the best that we have to do. So it's something that you have to think about, that my behavior, am I really honoring God in what I do? Am I really doing my best in what I do? Am I really separating the name of God? Or I am just blending in like everybody else? Or even, not even visible, because I'm not giving my best. And then on top of that, we do, on another side, in fact, we have those of you that say, I'm a hard worker. I make sure that, I give my best. I push everything that is expected of me. I do. I'm a hard worker. You are excellent in what you do. You do everything in the best way that you're supposed to do. But in that as well, there can be, a thin line between what is right and what is wrong, what pleases God and what doesn't please God. What do I mean? Because I am here saying that we have to give our best. I am here saying that you can't be that kind of a person that, you are laid back, you give things late, you come in and you go, you never really have a little extra mile that you do in your workplace. And then now you look at yourself and say, I am not doing any of this. I'm the opposite of that. I'm dedicated, I'm a hard worker, I push for excellence and things like that. But in that, are you honoring God? Are you hallowing the name of God? Because we can do that. Be hardworking, be doing everything perfectly, but how are you behaving in that space? How are you treating people around you in that space? Maybe you are a team leader. Maybe you are a person that, you are a team leader. You are the one that is doing everything. And your team is doing well. You are producing results. But how are you treating others? Are you not maybe, pushing others to the limits, expecting too much from other people, even stepping on other people because you think, they are going to delay me, they don't want to do this, making other people uncomfortable just because you want to get the results. So even in that, in our character, we are not hallowing the name of God, because people cannot look at our results at the end of the day. You are being rewarded, you are being awarded in your workplace, or you are achieving something, but other people are sad because of the way that you behave around them, the way that you treat them. And I know this very well, because I remember I had an experience that I have shared it before, that as a person, personally myself, I'm one person that I expect, I demand from myself. I push, to get things done. When I have something to do, I want to get things done. It's something that I don't want to somebody else to wait on me and follow me on things. But there was a time that this I would do without hallowing the name of God, because I wouldn't observe other people, how they do the things. I would expect too much from other people. I would demand too much from other people. And God spoke to me that is not praising his name, because yes, the results are there, but at the end of the day, it doesn't please him. So we have to see in ourselves, in what we demand, in what we do, if we are not, in one way or another, putting the name of God to shame. Because when we go to the word of God, it says here in the word of God that, and whatever we do, in the book of Colossians chapter 4, verse 22, 23 in fact, it says, in whatever you do, do it heartily, as to me, as to the Lord, and not to men. Because sometimes what we do in our workplace, we work so hard, we do everything, but we complain because we think, why my boss is complaining like this? I give my best, but they don't see. But if you are doing it for God, why are you complaining? And if maybe you are a hard worker, you are doing everything to please God, why are you complaining about others as well? So we have to be careful that we are not those kind of employees or in our workplace that we are in either way or the other, shaming the name of God, either in our so-called hardworking and dedicated, or also not also in our way of doing things. This is how I do things. I don't like to push myself. I don't like to, to be all over the place, as sometimes people they say. But, in what you do, just make sure that you are honoring God. You are not doing things in your way, in the way that it pleases you. You ask yourself, my God, is this right? Does this please you? Does this honor you? Because as it says here, it continues here, it's saying that knowing that from the Lord you will receive the reward of the inheritance, for you serve the Lord Christ. So in everything that we do, even in our workplace, we have to know that we serve God. We have to know that we have to please God. We have to know that people are looking at us and they might not be able to ask us a lot about who we are and our Christianity and all that, but our character can draw them closer to us so that we may be able to lead them to Christ. So ask yourself one thing: am I hallowing the name of Christ in my workplace? Or I'm just a one more employee, or if I'm not one more employee, I'm that kind of employee that make other people uncomfortable, push other people, to have a character that make other people uncomfortable in the workplace, and in that way not being able to please God. So let's work hard in our workplaces. Let's do our best, but let's above all hallow the name of God. God bless you.